Hello and welcome to the 11th instalment of the 2014-15 season of Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show, sponsored by Urtec Holdings, our major sponsor, on your home of sport in the community, 91.3 Sport FM. I'm your host, Dave Minear, and tonight we have a big show for all our listeners, talking you through the scores from the weekend's games versus the students, the University District Cricket Club. Before we go to our Northside residential interview with club stalwart on the comeback trail after injury, Michael Arder. Then later in our Sunwise Outdoor Living second interview with a man who has been a massive part of our club since the start, life member and veteran former fourth grade skipper, Warren the Almanac Beckwith. But first of all, without further ado, and I'm really gutted I cut it off Elton John. I'm still standing there for RJ, but he still is. My co-host, life member, premiership player, Director of Cricket, club legend, and former JP Robbins medalist, Ian John Purcell. Ian, how are you, mate?
Evening, Vernon. I'm very well, thanks. And yourself?
Mate, very well, very well. I thought you'd like that last bit, mate, the JP Robbins medalist. And how many years ago was that, mate, that you got the second grade award for best player in the whole competition, mate?
Last century, Vernon. Let's just call it that, eh? Let's just leave it at that, shall we?
Okay, mate, so a little bit ago. Okay, well, no, I don't know too many other people have done it.
Back in the flowing locks days, mate. So, yeah, that obviously hasn't been for a little while.
Gold. All right, mate. Now, mixed weekend for the boys. We had an interesting A-grade effort, which was a little bit disappointing, but the twos, threes and the fours once again coming through with the goods, IJ.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mixed fortunes, Vernon, as you just touched on there. Look, a little bit disappointing for me for the A's. They had a very, very good opportunity there to cement a spot in the semi-finals of the one-day comp, but and if they had won, they would have got through. But look, quite a good effort. Obviously, their university turned it on there for the first time this year, so very, very a little bit disappointing there. But hopefully, the other boys can bounce back now. They've just got the two-day cricket to go.
Now, is there one more one-dayer? I'm positive I saw the last fixture of the year is actually a one-dayer. Now, even if that's the case, because I know it's pretty close at the top of the ladder, and there's probably about 4 spots around us, is there any way you reckon it's possible that we could possibly get through? I don't know. I haven't had a good look, but I know the last round of the year is a one-dayer for the A grade, so I was just wondering if... I don't know.
No, because they would already play. They've already played the semi-finals prior to that.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Yeah, look, the semi-finals are on Sunday. So
yeah, I just noticed that the other day. Yeah, I just had a look because I didn't know when the actual semi-finals were going to be. So they're normally, obviously, well before the 2-day stuff. So that'd be about right.
Yeah. So like say, Joondalup and Midland and Claremont Dillons and the surprise packet of the season there, Perth will be in the other final.
Yeah, they'd be pretty happy down there, the Perth boys. They're having a fantastic season and really come back from a horrible year last year to really do really well in all grades.
Yeah, correct. They have turned it around, Vernon, as they say, in the classics down there in Carlisle there at Fletcher Park. And, yeah, good on the Perth boys. You know, they're the other ones with the red hats on. And, yeah, you seem to have quite a good affiliation with them, Vern. So we always have to say some nice things about them, don't we, mate?
Nick Manifest and the boys down there, they're a great bunch of lads. And, as I said, they're a great club. So, yeah, well done to them this season. Now, IJ, before we go any further, just a quick one. The 2020 yesterday, there was Claremont Netherlands were playing the Basie boys, the Basie Bogans at the Wacker in the 2020 final. And we also had our Lansdale, one of our feeder clubs, playing earlier on in the day as well, mate. So, what happened there with the old Claremont, mate? They finally got through for that premiership that they've been waiting for.
Yeah, look, they finally did. They coming up against the very, very, very young Bayswater down there, just going through a generation phase. Also, they managed to have Denver de Cruz come across to them and help them out. So, look, a good win. Well done to Timmy Mack and his boys. You know, first-year coach, the cheeky little premiership for Timmy Mack there.
And he loves it too, doesn't he, the big fella? He would have been telling all the boys about it. But just to give our listeners just a bit of feedback about the weekend and with the actual results from Saturday, I just thought I'd take you quickly through them all. Claremont Netherlands defeated South Perth. Claremont made 4 for 183. South Perth all out for 120. Joondalup defeated Bayswater Morley. Joondalup chased down all out for 171 Bayswater Morley and got it 3 down for 172. Melville defeated Gosnells. Melville made 184 all out and Gozzies were all out for 138. Rocky Mandurah and also Perth played out a cracker down there, down at Lark Hill 1. Perth ended up making 6 for 2, 3, 8. Rocky Amandra all out for 2, 3, 4. So Scarborough, the other surprise packet at the moment, coming back, making a bit of I don't know. They've just sort of come back from nowhere. 7 for 2, 2, 8. Ended up beating Midland Guildford 8 for 2, 2, 3. Subiaco Floriat played Mount Lawley down there at Floriat Oval, and Subi were all out for 205, and then Mount Lawley were all out for 175. And the last fixture, other than our own, Willetton played Fremantle. Willetton defeated Fremantle. Willetton ended up 7 for 184. Fremantle bowled out for 164. So they've got a very young side for us. So a pretty good game, obviously, down there at Burrendale too. Fairly close, 20 runs within it. It was really basically only our game with University that was a bit of a whitewash, IJ.
Yeah, look, Vern, it was with University there winning the toss and having a bat. Yeah, they ended up at 8 for 229 off their 50, which is a fairly good score for the very picturesque James Oval. But look, with the bowlers, just going to say, Quelchy there, he bowled his Captain Chris Quelch, that is, bowled his 10 overs, 3 for 16. The old dog Parry there, 4 overs, none for 7. But Josh Quelch in his second game of A-grade cricket, there with his 9 overs, 4 for 42, being the pick of the bowlers. Donovan Fryer, 8 overs, none for 50. Cole Miller there with his very, very good offies, 6 overs, none for 36. And Jakey Fawcett, our man of the moment, bowled his 10 overs, 1 for 39. And Robbie Richards, 3 overs, none for 31. So, look, 8 for 229. The boys probably would have been fairly confident they might be able to chase that down, especially with the sort of form that Jakey Fawcett's in. But it wasn't to be, Dave, was it?
No, not at all, mate. Pretty disappointing. They came out with all guns blazing, obviously, Uni. A lot of good players in that side. I mean, Will Basisto's in some career best form at the moment, 126. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago he was playing seconds at Claremont Netherlands, so captain of the seconds, actually.
Yeah. Especially, like I say, early on, 2 for 9, 3 for 34. I thought, hang on a minute, we're sort of a bit of a chance here, yeah.
Or even at 4 for 74, you'd be backing yourself. And as I said, it's pretty disappointing. But what happened with the batting, mate?
Yeah, look, we probably didn't. It's not too much to read into here, is it, Fern?
No.
With us only managing to make the 99. Robbie Richards there with his 2, Mitchie McGee there with 7, Johnny Rogers with his 3, man of the moment, Jake Fawcett with his 12, Christian Smith, there, didn't trouble the scorers. Joel Charles top scored there with 31. Cole Miller 11, Donovan Fryer 11, Jason Parry didn't bother with the scorers either, and Chris Quelch was the last one after 15, leaving his younger brother stranded on 0 not out. So, look, a pretty disappointing performance. Obviously, the boys just had one of those days, and hopefully they can bounce back this week against the Drags.
Exactly. We've got a lot of games coming up that are very winnable in. A game like this, I think we probably, without being arrogant or rude or anything, these are the sort of games you really have to win if you want to be in that top 4 sort of spot. I mean, against a team like University who do have a lot of ups and downs over the season. They have some great performances and then some very average performances. And, I mean, even with that bowling lineup with Dave Vernon, Dallymore, Moody, and Agar, etc., the boys would be pretty disappointed not to do a little bit more than that, especially at James, and we know what James Oval's like.
One would suggest that we would have been fairly confident leading it. Mind you, we're fairly confident going to most games, but probably a little bit more, and maybe that's what happened to us, maybe we got a little bit carried away thinking that the batters, the next guy's going to do it, next guy might do it, and we managed to, unfortunately, fall very short there. No real partnerships, Vern. We always, people always talk about the partnerships in cricket, in the batting especially, as well as the bowling.
Definitely.
But mainly the batting, isn't it? So, yeah, look, probably pretty disappointing, and I'm sure that Wayne and Chris let the boys know what they really felt about them. Hopefully this week they'll get back on the training track, have another crack, work hard, and then, come out firing at all guns blazing at Kingsway against the Drags.
Exactly. You take Charlesy out of it, mate. We were all out for 68. So,
yeah.
As I said, it's good to see Charlesy back in there, and as I said, I think we just need more guys just to really just stick it out, and Chelsea's one of the greats at doing that. If it's going really tough, he'll stick it out, and he'll wait for that bad ball, and I think that's what the boys have got to really just bat time at that crease, and I know it's cliche, we've been saying it for many years.
We're dropping a couple in here, aren't we? Good on us.
Just a couple.
Yes.
But as I said, it's pretty disappointing, because now, obviously, we are going to miss out on that the one-day league ladder, but Purse, having a look at the total ladder, the first grade ladder there, Joondalup are obviously pretty clear at top there and doing quite well. Hazard me to say, but Perth there in second on 65 points. Melville, Willetton, Claremont, I mean, there's only 9 points between them. Then there's us and Scarborough in 6th and 7th, both on 44, with Mount Lawley right on our tails, and South Perth amazingly as well.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
It's a bit of a surprise. Yeah, look, I think we've still got a lot of work to do. We're in a very similar situation where we were last year, and obviously form leading into the finals means a fair bit. I mean, probably look at Claremont. They were struggling until they did defeat us, and they've sort of come on in leaps and bounds there. But Perth, I'm very surprised. No one would have tipped them at the start of the year to be where they are. And obviously Joondalup going okay. Look, they sort of seem to have stuck with the same sort of 12 or so.
Yeah.
They seem to be going all right. But Melville, obviously a very good side. Willetton, another very good side. So there's a lot of good sides. If you have a look at the top 8, there's definitely some good sides. And anyone realistically in the top 7 or 8 at the moment should be eyeing off a chance to play finals, providing they can obviously, as you was just touched on earlier, get that momentum leading into the finals.
Exactly. So massive game for the Roo boys this weekend. If you've just joined us, it's the Roos News Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show you're listening to. But yeah, as I said, I think the big thing this weekend is obviously going to be the Dragons, because they're a little bit above us, a big win there, and all of a sudden we're right back in that mix of that top 4 or 5. So let's hope the boys can get out there, turn around that little slump last weekend, and put it at the back of the memories, and hopefully push on for the rest of this season.
Yeah, it's probably one thing we have done fairly well this year is we have bounced back quite well from our losses, haven't we? We haven't really dropped a couple in a row, so yeah, hopefully. So Wayne and Quilcher obviously be all over that sort of stuff, won't they?
Definitely, mate, definitely. All right, mate, well, having a look at the second grade now, we'll go through and have a look at them before we go to a quick break from our all-important station sponsors and get our great man Michael Arder on the line.
Mate, University had a bat first after we won the toss, and we managed to skittle them in the 49th over 164, which is a very good effort from the boys. Probably a little bit underdone in the bowling, but they've obviously the boys have fought back quite well. Your favourite player in the world there, Vern, Adam Smudger Smith there with his 10 overs, 1 for 32. The blonde bombshell, fresh back from his A-grade debut, to his 10 overs, 2 for 34. Aaron Summers, now this is a very good story. It's good to see Aaron running around on the weekend there with his 6 overs, 2 for 24. Graham Atkinson there with his 10 overs, done for 26. But the man we'll be talking to very shortly, Vern, Michael Arder, he bowled his 9.5 overs there, 1 for 42. Young Matt Spores, the very, very good young and up-and-coming player. Good to see him having a bit of a bowl, 2 overs there, none for 3. And Maisie, just cheeky little 1 for 1 there. He sort of had a bit of a day out, did Maisie. So, yeah, look, a great effort from the boys. And look, then we've just managed to peel them off, but we ended up 5 for 169 the 40th over there, and probably didn't start the best with Brunner there. Unfortunately, we only with 3. But look, Jesse Budge held the innings together there with his 60 not out. Nathan Henry, as we explained to him on the weekend, the poor fella doesn't really need to have a couple of blokes standing around the side. It might have been a little bit chirpier than usual, telling him how well he did. And then young Matty Spores there with his 5, Michael Arder with his 27, Ryan May with his 22, and then Bailey Nylander who just come out and just licked him for fun, didn't he, there with his 37, and hit a cheeky little 6 to win the game. So look, an absolutely outstanding effort from the boys there in the 2s, wasn't it?
Mate, he's an absolute jet, isn't he? And Bailey, when he went out there, mate, we still needed a couple of runs at that point, and as I said, he had to go out there and really be aggressive, and he went out there and he did exactly that. We were lucky enough to be there to watch that innings. That's and right. He didn't look like there was any pressure whatsoever when he went out there.
Well, they still needed 50 runs, and those two he put on in no time, didn't he? Look,
took the pressure off. He took the pressure off Jesse. He massively took the pressure off him.
That's right, and it looked like the uni boy started to lose it a bit, especially that little incident there where he's hit it straight at the fielder and he's thrown it 35 foot over the keeper's head. That's a great shot for 4.
Exactly.
But look, he just showed some good composure, took the leggy on when he had to, and just noodled around to start, and then he played some glorious drives, and then the big slog to finish. So look, a great effort there, isn't it? But look, Jesse Budge played really well, didn't he?
Oh, definitely, mate. And he looked good, and he's got a fantastic temperament to open in that grade. And I think, like we were saying, we've got a plethora of young batsmen coming through that are really up to the task. And I think it's a lot of guys are getting opportunities now, especially in second grade. And just having a look at that batting display by the ones last weekend, if you're making scores like that and you're playing well and showing a temperament, you're going to be a good chance of maybe getting an opportunity, whether it be injury or form issues.
Correct, yeah, definitely. And especially, say, Brendan Murray also to come back there, who's away at the moment.
And Jared McPhee too, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. That's another one as well, isn't it? But look, I think Brunner probably would have really loved to get some runs, to put a bit more pressure on, just to keep his name up in front of the selectors again, because, as we say, if a couple of those boys at the top of in the A grade, if they have a couple of lean weeks, you never know, do you? So
yeah, you need to be making runs, don't you, mate? Definitely. All right, well done, boys. And Maisie, by the way, if you're listening to us out there, mate, your other half, mate, she's much better than you. She's an absolute champion, mate. We had a great chat. We were stirring you up, mate, and we do think she's probably a couple of inches taller than you, mate. But that's all right. But no, well done, Maisie. His 22 was very good as well, and your better half, mate, did say you would get out caught, and you basically did the next over.
Yes,
so
well done, mate. Good to see you living up to her expectations, buddy.
But well done to the twos, and Noddy, well done out there, mate, because those boys are doing a fantastic job. And as I said, the world is your oyster at the moment. If you guys keep winning, you're a chance at pushing and sneaking into those finals very late. So good luck to the boys, and I hope they can get a big win next week over the Dragons. All right, guys, well, what we're going to do, we're going to go to a quick break from our all-important station sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to have our Northside residential interview this week, which is Michael Arder on the line. Back in just a few moments.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Urtec Holdings, getting it right and on time. Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood, contact Andrew Amos today. Sunwise Outdoor Living, for all your patio, gazebo and alfresco needs, contact Rob Fairchild. MTM Physiotherapy, specialising in sports injuries, located in Duncraig. And Stella Premium Services, gardens, parks and lawns, contact Cliff Astall today. Station sponsor.
Marshall! Holler for a Marshall and start it up.
If your car won't start, holler for a Marshall. An electrical systems check, a jump start to get you back on the road, or a replacement battery with up to 3 years nationwide roadside warranty. Affordable and hassle-free. Whatever your battery needs, holler for a Marshall on 136130. We're always working.
136130.
Tell the driver you heard this ad on Sport FM to receive a $15 discount.
Station sponsor.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood. Contact Andrew Amos today. Jets Wanneroo, 24-hour fitness, workout on your terms. Harden Eastern Conti, accounting, taxation, finance and business planning. Contact Murray McGee. Subway Madeley, located in the Kingsway Shopping Complex, and Resource Instrumentation and Electrical, WA-owned electrical contracting company specialising in the HVAC industry. Contact Darren Thorne, station sponsor.
And welcome back to Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show. And what we've got here now, guys, we've got our Northside residential interview for the week, and it's none other than club stalwart Michael Arder on the line. Ards, can you hear us, mate?
Yeah, mate. How are you, boys?
Mate, absolutely fantastic, mate. We've been waiting to get you on, mate. We love having a chat with you because we always get the honest truth, mate, and it's always a pleasure to have you on our show. Mate, you've had a bit of a layoff. What's been the problem? You've been injured for a little bit. What's been the massive issue?
Old age is probably it, but nah, to be honest, I've had a knee op, so just some ongoing troubles with the old right pin that I've had for a while, so yeah.
Hey, Ards, it's Percy, mate. How you going?
How are you, Percy?
Yeah, good, buddy, good. Hey, mate, just on that, you have had a bit, obviously, it's a fairly well-documented trouble with your legs, mate, but you're still getting around okay, mate. When you get out there in the field and are running around, mate, does it loosen up one of those things, or is it just something you're going to be stuck with forever?
No, I can't remember when I've ever been loose, but
Or maybe loosen the head, but yeah.
Sure, yeah, that's it. But I mean, it has its moments. Yeah, some days it feels better than others, but yeah, it does loosen up, I suppose, a little bit. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you just got to push through. And I enjoy playing cricket, so keep playing.
Mate, you've one of those guys that's really had to really do a big apprenticeship as far as waiting to play A grade. You played your first game, obviously, last year. Just missed out on playing in our premiership win. Mate, what's been the sort of turnaround for you? Has there been a slightly different focus, or is it just, the same sort of hard work and just getting the opportunities?
A little bit of both. I mean, I've had to sort of learn my game again, obviously, and learn, what I do wrong and keep my head on it most of the time. But, yeah, and then obviously just learn my game, and then work hard towards knowing how you get out and knowing how to push on, I suppose.
Hey, mate, with your bowling, it's obviously, I can remember back in the days when you were a bit younger, one session of training, you'd be running in bowling your left arm seam ups, but it's good to see you finally cotton on to the fact that your best bowling is your left arm orthodox.
Yeah, in saying that, I did bowl seam up on Thursday night, and I thought I bowled pretty well, to be fair.
No praise like self-praise.
I was going to say, you were probably the only person thinking of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But, no, definitely offies for sure. Mets are long gone. You soon realise when you start bowling a little bit medium pace, shaping into the batsman, you get put over mid-wicket for 6, it's a bit too often. It's not fun.
Mate, having a look at the weekend, the twos, you've been in there the last couple of weeks and you've been having a look at what's going on there. Can you see a bit of a turnaround in the confidence with the boys in second grade as far as the last couple of weeks? I know they lost the first week you played, but has there been a bit of a turnaround in confidence even at training?
Yeah, definitely. I think we did address it in the change rooms after a horrific shock last week. Just got to be confident, I think. A few of the boys being a bit younger, they get a bit worried, when we're 2 or 3 for not many, or they come in and know they didn't make runs last week. And I don't know, I find a lot of our guys that are underperforming are they're all playing mind games in their head, and yeah, they're just trying to help them get through it, I suppose. That's where us old blokes can help them out.
That's right, isn't it, mate? Like I say, pass on those years of experience, mate. Hey, mate, you are right there, though. Guys like sort of Jesse Budge, Matt Spores, and also Bailey and Nylander, just these sort of guys. What sort of future do you see for those three at the club?
Yeah, very good. All 3 of them, to be honest, hit the ball really well. Keep it simple, I suppose. They're all a bit strange. I remember I batted with Budge on the weekend, and we went to the centre of the pitch at one point, and we didn't actually say a word, just turned around and walked back to the other end. So that was pretty entertaining. But they're very, very, very good. They all work very hard, and they're just technically pretty correct as well. They know when to hit the bad ball and keep out the good one. So very bright future for the 3 of them.
Mate, I dare say you'd find that pretty hard not talking in the middle. I don't think in all the times we batted together, mate, we ever talked about cricket when we got to the middle. I don't think that at any point.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, I did remember batting with Budge last year, and I was sort of trying to coach him through a few situations, and he sort of said that his approach would rather not say much. So I said, fair enough.
No, that's fair enough. Mate, The rest of this season, obviously, it's still alive for the twos. As I said, it's going to be hard. We're going to have a few results go our way. But for the rest of the season, are you looking to try and just keep doing well in twos and then hopefully start again next year, get into the ones, or you're just hoping for any possible opportunity, obviously?
Oh, I need to work a bit harder, to be honest. I'm probably a bit unfit, having a late start to the year, and just struggling a little bit with probably the fitness side of things, which is why I keep getting to 30 and getting out. I just want to work hard on that, and then obviously next year definitely just have a big pre-season and ready to go. So my knee is getting better every week, and it does feel better every week. So it's only going to get better, I think. So.
Hey mate, and obviously you survived down at Bandicoot Country on Saturday night.
Yeah, I did. Didn't even sway any, so it wasn't too bad down in Wandy. Bandicoot Country, yeah. Seen some strange signs on the side of the road, pulled over, Googled what they were, and Bandicoot, yeah.
Mate, Manjagordap Road, I love that on the freeway. That's probably one of my favourites. But, mate, your boat, just quickly, I know we're digressing a little bit. We're all getting a bit excited here, Purcell and I especially.
Hey, feel like we were on Saturday, mate, yeah.
Yeah. When's the boat coming down, mate?
Oh, I don't know yet. We're waiting to see, so might not happen. Let's see what happens.
All right, well,
maybe that could be your off-season fitness, mate. Just strap it to yourself and just sort of run it down from Carnarvon. You might be right, mate. You're pretty fit by the time you get home, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
And whatever you do, mate, don't let Captain Zigzag Joel Charles ever pilot your boat, mate, at any point.
Well, I did mention it to Captain Zigzag that it might be maybe a good A-grade wind-up. Get A-grade, second-grade wind-up and have Captain Zigzag at the wheel driving it back from Carnarvon to Perth.
You guys might end up somewhere out in the Indian Ocean, I reckon, mate.
That's it.
Mate, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And as I said, mate, all the best for the rest of the year. And it's always good to see you back in there, mate. And we really want you performing because, as I said, we need to add some more depth to that A-grade side, mate. And if we've got guys like yourself bolstering that up, mate, when we get these injuries, it's not going to be an issue. So good luck for the rest of the year, big fella.
Cheers, boys. Love the show, and I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Yeah, it's good to see. I think having Ards there to help out Noddy in the seconds is just outstanding. You know, just gives him another dimension. You know, he's a very seasoned player. He's actually a very, very smart player. You know, especially now. You know, probably the last couple of seasons he's really come on in leaps and bounds, hasn't he? So look, it's good to see him. Look, he's just a great fella, realistically, at the end of the day, isn't he?
Oh, mate, great bloke. But I think the biggest thing with him, I don't think, you know, you touched on the fitness there. He hasn't got a grade 100 yet. And, you know, that's quite amazing. He actually hasn't got a grade 100, but I think it's got a lot to do with not only the fitness, I think just the mental side of it. When he gets to those opportunities, you know, he's got a lot of 70s and 80s, 60s, and that sort of thing. The sooner he's coming to the age in his life, you know, 25, 26, 27, where you come into your batting, you know, your masterclass, really. You know your game better than anyone. So it's a really important couple of years coming up with Ards. We're guilty of not realising that Ards is the age he is.
Yeah, true.
We all think he's about 35, but he's not. But he's just been around for a bloody long time. So
yeah,
it'd be good. It'd be good to see him get up there this year. And as I said, get fit. Even if it's not till next year, get a full pre-season without any knee ops and stuff like that, and then push up to the ones.
Yeah, look, I think he's some of the young blokes should have a bit of a look at him, you know, for what he has been through and that horrible leg injury he had as a kid, and to be able to still get around and play is just a miracle in itself. And, you know, just that want and desire to play cricket, I think that's one of the things that a few of the young blokes should look up to him for.
Definitely, mate, definitely. All right, guys, well, what we're going to do on Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show, we're just going to go to a quick word from our all-important station sponsors, and when we come back, we'll have all the results for the rest of the grades on the weekend. Back in just a few moments.
G'day, Simon Kadich here for the Ringing Shed. You know, to get to the top level of anything, you need reliability and consistency. The Ringing Shed has been one of WA's top order performers for more than a decade, specialising in providing lifting gear to the state's crane and lifting industry. If you need quality gear, repair, testing and maintenance, they can do it. And if you need best practice, the Rigging Shed has it. Reliability and consistency. That's the Rigging Shed since 2001.
The Rigging Shed, 53 Prosperity Avenue, Wangara, station sponsor.
Revo Cricket Store is the perfect way to revolutionise your game for this summer of cricket. Found at 37 Lemnos Street, Shenton Park, the Revo Cricket Store stocks the best brands at affordable prices, including Kookaburra, Bradbury, Spartan, Adidas, Asics, Nike and much more. Revo Cricket is the one-stop shop for all your cricket needs. Station sponsor Revo Sports. Come and see them at 37 Lemnos Street, Shenton Park, or for the full range, visit their website at revolutionsports.com.au.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Urtec Holdings, Getting It Right and On Time. Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood, contact Andrew Amos today. Sunwise Outdoor Living, for all your patio, gazebo and alfresco needs, contact Rob Fairchild. MTM Physiotherapy, specialising in sports injuries, located in Duncraig. And Stella Premium Services, gardens, parks and lawns, contact Cliff Astall today. Station sponsor. The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Urtec Holdings, Getting It Right and On Time. Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood, contact Andrew Amos today. Sunwise Outdoor Living, for all your patio, gazebo and alfresco needs, contact Rob Fairchild. MTM Physiotherapy, specialising in sports injuries, located in Duncraig. And Stella Premium Services, gardens, parks and lawns, contact Cliff Astall today. Station sponsor.
Marshall! Holler for a Marshall and start it up.
If your car won't start, holler for a Marshall. An electrical systems check, a jump start to get you back on the road, or a replacement battery with up to 3 years nationwide roadside warranty. Affordable and hassle-free. Whatever your battery needs, holler for a Marshall on 136130. We're always working.
136130.
Tell the driver you heard this ad on Sport FM to receive a $15 discount.
And welcome back to Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show on your home of sporting variety, 91.3 Sport FM. Now, I'm just here with my co-host, the fantastic Ian Purcell. Now, Purce, can you start taking us through the results for the rest of the grades for the weekend against the students and the Centurions, please, sir?
Yes, mate. The thirds that were playing at Kingsway, number 2, University batted first again there, and we managed to skittle them in 31 overs for 133. So a really, really good performance there by Cam McDonald-led third grade. Quinny there with his 9 overs, 1 for 17. The Josh Smith there with his 9 overs, 2 for 21. Liam Catelfamo there with his 4 overs, 1 for 24. Scotty Pearson, 9 overs, 1 for 29. Moses as well with his 9 overs, 3 for 21. Just a very, very good effort there with the pick of the bowlers. And Cam Mack, the captain himself, with 4.4 overs there, 1 for 20. So, look, a great effort to skittle the students there for 133. And, look, we managed to peel them off in the last over there at 5 for 134. And with Hayden Selecki there with his 4. AB Alex Burton there with, unfortunately didn't trouble the scorers. Moses there just to top off his 3 for 21 with a 55. So pretty much an outstanding day for the
men of the match.
Yeah, one would suggest. Might be a chance for the ERTEC Player of the Week, Mike.
Could be.
Might be, mate. Good. And Greg Marr there with his 45 not out, continuing his good form. Alfie Peters there with his 9, and Cam Mack to come in and win the game 7 not out. So the thirds continue on their merry way, Vern.
Mate, they're having a great year. I mean, they're top of the ladder. They've got a very young side. I was having a look at the guys when they come across. That is going to be one of the youngest third-grade sides going around, I reckon. And
isn't it, you know?
They'd be playing against a lot of guys who have played a lot higher as well in that comp. Obviously, it's a pretty strong comp, the third-grade comp, and you get that mix, don't you, of the sort of the older guys who have played a lot of A-grade and don't want to quite go down to 4s, but just want to still a bit of a competitive edge. And as I said, with some of those bowling performances there, mate, especially Moses there, I mean, unbelievable. I mean, to do that and get the 55 and basically see the boys over the line, mate, in the Keith Parry scoring system, it's a pretty good effort.
Mate, he will do very well in the Keith Parry scoring system. That's sort of equivalent to 100, isn't it? So
it is.
Yeah. So look, great job. Yeah, good to see a couple of young blokes there. Wayne giving them a go. Now they've got a few injuries and opportunities there. So look, they're still maintaining their position on top of the ladder, Vern. So look, a great effort from the thirds.
No, fantastic effort. And as I said, this week we've got Willerton, and Willerton are in 4th in third grade. So it's going to be a tough game there, obviously, against them. But they're looking really, really good in that competition. And as I said, they still haven't lost a game this year, which is just absolutely unheard of. You'd hope they don't do what the 4s did a couple of years ago, wait till the last round to lose a game, then go out in straight sets. But as I said, hopefully the boys can really stick with it and finish it off this year.
Yeah, look, absolutely, like I say, I can just agree with you any more there, Vern. I think it's really good to see. Good to see Cam Mack having a go and being really positive and seeing a couple of these young boys getting behind him. And, hopefully they'll continue on their merry way for the last few rounds.
Beautiful. Well done, boys. Great work by the 3s and well led by Cam Mack, who's doing a magnificent job there and a real leader of the future for the top couple of grades there. All right, RJ, now going on to the 4th grade, mate.
Yeah, the 4s that played out at UWA Sports Park West, Vern. So, yeah. It's used to know it as McGilvray.
I was just going to say, is that McGilvray?
Yeah, hey, whatever, you know. But, look, once again, Uni won the toss and they had a bat and they ended up at 8 for 200 after their allotted 45 overs. But young Elijah Gravestock there, the fiery young fast bowler there with his 7 overs, 3 for 36. So a really, really good outstanding effort from him. And then got the old dog at the other end, Aidan Fawcett. When I say old dog, he's only 21, isn't he? So just looks like an old dog, doesn't he, with all that? With that mop of hair and his attitude to life. 3 overs there, none for 20. Joel Carney there with his 7 overs, 1 for 29. Jimmy DiCarlo there continuing on his good form with his 9 overs, 1 for 20. Braden Myers there, he ended up with 2 for 54. Bondi there with his 4 overs, none for 15. And Corey Roccaccioli, one of our favourites here in Roos News, he ended up with his 4 overs, none for 21. So look, a great effort from the boys there. 8 for 200, that's a fair few runs, but we just managed to peel them off, mate, in the last over again. So look, with 5 overs to go there, look, an outstanding effort there, us to end up at 3 for 203. Look, Lloyd Quinlan there with his 3, but there he is, the man, Matty Fawcett. Maybe a bit of a chat about him last week. Just happy to be going around. Former A-grade player. Just happy to be back at the club playing with his younger brother. There with a cheeky little 98. So look, an outstanding effort there. Braden Myers just 4, but Hawley there with his 72 not out.
Brilliant.
So good to see a couple of wise heads there, showing the young blokes how it's done. And Jimmy DiCarlo chimed in with a cheeky little 8 not out in the end. But look, an outstanding run chase there from the Joel Carney led 4th grade. So they managed to continue on their merry way too, Vern.
and sitting in top, mate, as well, and only lost the one game this year. The funny thing about Old Force there, I mean, he's done just fantastically, and we've been talking him up a fair bit just quietly the last few weeks. And
thoroughly deserved it, though.
Wanting him to go on, and he did that. I mean, 98, I mean, too short of the ton. But the thing that I find quite amazing about it, Wade Drummond was a bowler. And if Wade Drummond, I mean, he can cook. I don't know about bowling. Matty must be gutted. I mean, Wade Drummond. I mean, Drummond, unbelievable.
Can we say cook some pies or not?
Yeah, mate, you could do that. I wonder if he's still got the picture of his girlfriend in his Tirana sitting there, blue tack to the screen. Yeah, I do remember that old Wade. But Wade getting the prize scalp of Matty Fawcett. But great work by the fours, and Carney doing a great job down there. As I said, 7 overs there for Carney, 1 for 29. And as I said, the only man to bowl a maiden for the day as well. But the boys there really pushing forward, and Elijah Gravestock there, 3 for 36.
Cheeky little 10 wides to go in that so means about a bowled straight.
I was just about to go. I was getting to that. Have a look at that, 10 wides. Unbelievable.
Kids got some serious heat, though.
You're not wrong.
You can't just don't hold them back, do you? Just wind them up and let them go. Yeah.
No, and he's still not even going to run a ball. Like, he's not going to 6 and over. So, I mean, you don't mind. But as I said, it takes a little bit of time to get used to doing that. And as I said, to hold on to it. But well done to the boys, and great performance there by the fours, who were just dominating again in top position as well. Now, just having a quick look there to see where their opposition this week are on the ladder, and Willerton are right down there in 10th. So the boys will be really hoping to really consolidate before this final series coming up and make sure that they can't be caught at the top of that ladder. So that's really good. So well done to the fours. All right, IJ, now going to our next game, mate, in the under-17s.
Yeah, look, they had an outstanding win down there at Tailuka versus the University Juniors, otherwise known as the Centurions. Yeah, look, it was an absolutely outstanding performance. The boys managed to skittle the second junior team there for 66, and which is an outstanding effort because they got a couple of very, very good players in their team. But look, the pick of the bottom there, Dylan Banks, 2 overs, none for 2, and sort of went off with a dodgy heel, unfortunately. Liam Katelfamo there with his 4 overs, 2 for 11. Look, the Elijah Greystock, the fiery fast bowler there, he only bowled 3 overs in the morning, 1 for 9. Big Ionestal, and coming back there with 6 overs, 1 for 13. Corey Rockacholi now. This is an outstanding performance from Corey. First over, he's bowled a couple of half-trackers. I think he went for 10 in the first over, but he managed to bowl his next 5 overs and get 3 for 9. So ended up with 3 for 19, so great effort. Young Matty Purcell, come on with his 2 overs, just a cheeky little 2 for 9 and finished the innings off. And to leave poor old Kurt Monahan there with only just a 1 over and 1 maiden. So look, an outstanding effort there from the boys. And yeah, look, we managed to accumulate 4 for 147 in our allotted 30 overs there. And look, young Borny Quinlan with his 15, young Matty Purcell promoted to the top of the order there and repaid the faith with his very, very well compiled 29. But my favourite player running around at the moment there, Vern, young Joshy Cameron, just made another lot of runs there with a cheeky little 71. Damon Parker with his 4, Braden Hudson with his 19 not out off probably about 3 balls, and Lockie McLean with his 2. So look, an outstanding effort from the aptly coached Brendan Danaher's under-17s.
Mate, you're getting really excited about Joshy Cameron, aren't you?
Oh, I love him. Great player.
It was getting a bit concerning.
Great player.
It was getting a bit concerning on Saturday. I didn't think you were going to let him go, mate.
I know, the poor kid, didn't he? Hey, trust me, mate, he cops that every Tuesday and Thursday that I'm down there, so don't worry, it's nothing new for him.
Well done to Joshy Cameron, and he's done some great things this year, and Corey Rockacholi, well done there, mate. I mean, he's leading from the front there, and
bowled really well.
And that's it. And Matty Purcell, 22 for 29.
Yeah, look, that was it was almost Moses-esque, wasn't it? But look, it's good to see that young Matty did that and sort of made the most of his opportunity there. But the boys are still sitting on top, Vern, which is quite good. So we're currently 8 points clear on top of the ladder. So look, it's an outstanding effort, that.
Well done to the boys, and as we always say about the 17s, it's so important to have these kids coming through, and obviously for next season we might have a couple trickle into the seniors, but we already have, but a couple more, and it's so important.
Yeah, it's been really good too because Brendan Danaher this year has really come on in leaps and bounds. He did his level 2, and then he actually got a gig at the Wacker Under 15 Carnival.
Oh, brilliant!
During the week because look, they like what they like, and it's like what they saw, so it's really, really good.
Well done, Brendo. But no, it's fantastic. Almost had a sneeze there on the microphone, but it's all good.
I'm sure the boys of the Bourne would be pretty happy with that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would be. Picking off the spider webs, bless them. But IJ, we're going to go to the 15s now, mate, and another interesting game down there. Now,
mate, pretty unlucky. The boys managed to just get pipped in the last over.
That's what I was about to say. Unbelievable.
Yeah, look, probably not. Maybe not enough. 6 to 137 is pretty good effort from the boys. They Mil Vandermeer, unfortunately, there with his 1. Old Whitehurst there with his 13. Tristan Hobley, a very good player there with his 50. Young Thorney didn't trouble the scores. That'll be his first one of them for a while. Old Benny Doolan there, which we always like saying that name, don't we? With his 26. Lukey Cheshire with his 11. Young Petey Pearson with his 9 not out, and Dion Billington with his 4. So, yeah, look, not a bad effort, but from all accounts, Vern, according to the umpire there, Darryl Power, a former treasurer at the cricket club.
Certainly was.
He sort of explained that the fielding was bad. They dropped a few catches, so no doubt Thorney will have them out on the track this week, working their
backsides off.
Very hard. We can say that about kids that age.
You can, as far as I know, backside.
Anyway, they end up with 6 for 139. They did, and the bowling were there with Lukey Cheshire. Copped a bit of stick from me, deservedly so, early in the year with his 5 overs there, 2 for 22. Bailey Richards, 6 overs, none for 21. Connor Thorne, 6 overs, 1 for 23. Caden Eaton there with his 4 overs, none for 14. Tristan Hobley, 4 overs, 1 for 21. Dion Billington, 1 over, none for 8. And our man Benny Doolan there with his 4 overs, 2 for 26. But a little bit disappointing for the boys. They're having some good momentum going forward, but hopefully they'll bounce back this week against the Drags.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And as I said, on the ladder there, just having a quick look at that, Perce, you've got Melville, Centurions, Perth, Subi Floreat, Willetton in 5th, and then if you have a look down a little bit further, you've got Rocky Mandurah in 6th, so that's the final spots all sewn up there. Not yet, obviously, but there's a little bit of a gap between Rocking and Mandurah and the Wanneroo boys, so they're sitting in 8th.
Yeah, it looks like, say, 9 points out there, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, look, they probably, I'd say, would really want to make sure that they continue on their winning way.
Yep.
Obviously, Thorny would know this. He's not a silly man. He knows how to read a ladder. So, like I say, hopefully the boys can continue on this weekend. Look, they're a very talented young team, and I would be fairly disappointed if they didn't manage to scrape into the 6th there, mate.
Definitely. Well done, boys. Well, hopefully they can get forward and, as I said, get a good win this weekend and push themselves right up for that finals, look at the finals this year. All right, IJ, now, what other results have we got there this weekend, mate?
Mate, the 14s and the 13s. We'll quickly run through them before we talk to Warren as well, mate.
Hot Pants Beckwith, we'll go through that. We'll go to an ad after this and give our listeners a break, and then we'll get on with it.
In the under 14s, we played against Scarborough there, and so we've played against 3 teams this weekend. Good work. And down at Abbott there. So look, unfortunately, we had a bat first, and we ended up with 137. Unfortunately, it's quite a good effort there, realistically, from the boys. They're Fawson with his 3. Young Dion Billington, unfortunately, didn't trouble the scorers there. Good work, Cap. Young Douglas there with his 72. So that's an outstanding effort and really well batted. Caden there with his 10. Young Richards there with his 3, the young Kelsey there with his none, unfortunately again, Ives with his 12, young Commode there with his 2, and Forgan with his 26, and Wirramanthri. Vern?
Ian, you're on very, mate, you did that very well. We're a man 3.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, all of a sudden, I'm not the first time my English has been corrected either, but let's be honest. Yes, and Irvine with his 6, so I ended up 137, but unfortunately, look, Scarborough ended up at 8 for 169 in the end, and they had a couple of good players there, and that was young McPhee actually there with his 72, which is Jared's cousin.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's the young growers, young boy.
Oh, brilliant.
So Craig. So look, it's just not good to see he's playing down there, but it's well done. We always like to see McPhee play well. But in the bowling, Eaton there with his 10 overs, 1 for 34. Forgan there with his 2 for 23. Wirramanthri again, Vern. There
well done, mate. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Irvine 2 for 25. Kelsey none for 4. Ives there, none for 15. Richards 1 for 16. Billington there, 1 for 20. And Commode with his 1 for 13. So look, unfortunately the boys didn't quite get up there in the end. So that's just a little bit disappointing. So but anyway, hopefully that they'll continue. Well, they've got another couple of games. Hopefully they can get back to some winning form.
Well, definitely, and sitting in 4th as well, mate. So hopefully they can move up a little bit there and really consolidate that spot. But having a look at that too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so. Well, Scarborough, you've got to be top 2 though, don't you, in that comp?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, Scarborough, it was a bit of a pressure game there and really needed to get a good result. But hopefully the boys can finish off strong anyway for the rest of the year. All right, mate. Now, also the 13s, mate, and the fantastic Inverarity Shield where we've seen all these great players come through over the years, mate. Can you take us through that, mate?
Unfortunately, mate, on the Scarborough got a couple of wins there in the juniors ahead of our boys. So, look, the Scarborough batted first. They end up with 4 for 129 in their 40 overs. The bowlers, young Zach Purcell there with his 7 overs, number 28. What's Corny's first?
Kieran,
that's right.
Coyne?
Yes, Kieran Coyne there with his 5 overs, 2 for 10. Young Hayden Stumpers there with his 5 overs, 1 for 13. Herbst there. I'm just saying that for fun now, Vern. I just like that kid's name. Santich there, 1 for 13. Hobley there, none for 14. Young Diesel's boy there with his none for 1 and off his 3 overs. That's pretty well bowling. And then McGowan there, 4 overs, none for 11. So, unfortunately, we all got skittled for 106, Vern. So, Williams there didn't trouble the scorers. Vanderwalt with his 6. Hobley run out for 10. McGowan there with his 12. Young Mitchy Slattery there with his star of the WA government ad. Young Mitch Slattery there.
Certainly is.
with his 6. Young Harris there with his 3. Richards with his 4. Herbst there again, Vern.
He's everywhere.
Isn't he? With his 18, top scoring the lad. Good work, son. Young Kieran there with his 12.
Kieran Christopher Coyne.
Hayden didn't trouble the scorers. He must have batted like his dad that day. Santich with his 12. So unfortunately, Diesel's boys didn't get a win there, Vern.
No, very disappointing for the boys. But as I said, it's not the end of the world, though, RJ. They're not. I mean, they've had an interesting year. It's been full of ups and downs. And look,
it's all about development, isn't it?
It is.
And especially if you talk to Diesel, and he's all over it. He knows what he's doing. Level 3 coach. He sort of knows what's getting the best out of the kids. So
exactly.
Mate, but we've got a Vets game coming up this week.
Certainly do.
On Sunday. So if any of you guys out there, or any of your former players are very keen on getting in a game of Vets, what you want to do is you want to give Sean Bennett a call on 0447 277 399, and I'm sure he'll be able to fit you in and get you a game there, Will Benno.
Do you want to repeat that number for Sean Bennett again there, Perce?
That's 0447 277 399. So give Sean Bennett a call from Total Industrial.
Yeah, Total Industrial and Safety. He's the owner down there, actually, Sean, and he's fantastic and a great servant to the club, and also a committee member and a major sponsor with us. Correct,
and yes, they are. That, like I say, a very good sponsor of the club, and like I say, for all of your safety or industrial needs, Vern, you can give Benno a call on 0447 277 399, or if you want a game of Vets on Sunday.
Excellent. There you go. Cash for comments. All right. So now, guys, we're going to go to a important little chat from our all-important station sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to have Warren Hot Pants Beckworth on the line. Back in just a few moments.
City Toyota. City Toyota's service centre at Northbridge and Nedlands is now open Saturday mornings between 8 and 12. Sit and relax in the lounge area with a coffee while your car is serviced by the experts. Bookings are essential. It's just another convenient service from City Toyota, Perth's #1 Toyota dealer. Call 1300 City Toyota. City Toyota. We're your #1.
DL 12195.
Station sponsor.
Get ready for summer and slip-slop flap with Australia's own Marine Blue sunscreen. Available in 30 plus and 50 plus tubes and bottles. Yes, Marine Blue, not just another house brand, Australian made and owned, and available from most pharmacies and supermarkets. Remember the name, Marine Blue sunscreen, for full sun protection.
Station sponsor.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood. Contact Andrew Amos today. Jets Wanneroo, 24-hour fitness, work out on your terms. Harden Eastern Conti, accounting, taxation, finance and business planning. Contact Murray McGee. Subway Madeley, located in the Kingsway Shopping Complex, and Resource Instrumentation and Electrical, WA-owned electrical contracting company specialising in the HVAC industry. Contact Darren Thorne, station sponsor.
And welcome back to Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show on your home of sports variety, 91.3 Sport FM. Now, we actually have our Sunwise Outdoor Living interviewee on the line, club legend Warren Beckworth. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks, Dave. It's very kind with the legend status.
Mate, you are definitely legend status, mate, and have been for a very long time. Mate, how long have you been involved with the cricket club?
I came out in 1985.
Mate, Warren, it's Percy, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good, thanks, Ian. How are you?
Well, mate, 1985. Where did you come from, Warren? No one ever knows where you just appeared miraculously. Were you like a bionic man? You were made?
I do have my brother to thank for that, because my older brother Malcolm came from Midland Guildford to seek 8 great opportunities at Wanneroo, and which he did, and he got those, and he came out in 1984 around the time of Robbie Langer, and then I came out the following season when I heard good things about Wanneroo, and then just went on from there, and he drifted off in a couple of years, and I stayed.
Well, was over the years, you've had a myriad of roles at the club. Can you take us through a few of the things that you've done since back then in 1985?
Yeah, I think I started off as a fourth grade fielder, and then gradually worked my way up the batting order.
Yeah.
And, about 1990, I had my first role on the committee, and 1991 I also had filled in a little bit for captaincy under Peter Clough. So he was the captain, and I think he had a couple of games that injured, and then enjoyed that role. And then 1991 I was given the captaincy of Force, which I had for a few years. And then I served on the committee again in the mid-2000s. I also was a coach, assistant to Ian Kevin, and then Wayne Andrews, and then Ian Poulter from the late 90s all the way through to the early 2000s. And did a lot of statistics for the club going back to mid-90s all the way through to the late 2000s as well.
Hey, also, mate, you've obviously been around. You've obviously 80s, 90s, 2000s. You would have seen a lot of the young guys come through. Obviously, looked after them in the force, coached them as you stopped playing as much, mate. Who was the best trainer and who was the best player that you've seen at our club?
Without doubt, the best trainer, and obviously it reflects on his career, was Mike Hussey. Even at a very young age, when he came out as a 14, 15-year-old, play fourth grade, he was like a sponge. He'd take everything in, and he'd just follow up on anything that he had concerns about, so asked heaps of questions. So he'd definitely be someone that not just physically but mentally was probably the hardest trainer. In terms of talent, there's been a number of very talented individuals that come through. But again, and I'm probably just quoting the cliches, but Damien Martin was a standout. I think when he was 14, people would say this boy's destined for Australian cricket. And again, one of the great things about playing Wacker cricket is you see some of these players come through fourth grade when they're only 14, 15, and years down the track you can say, yeah, I played with them, and it's one of the tremendous things about being involved with Wanneroo.
I've been doing that for years as well, Woz. Don't worry about that, mate.
I can't wait till you're a father, Vern. You're going to be the worst one ever.
Oh, mate, I will. Woz, going back to Damien Martin, how good was he? I hear from everyone, obviously I wasn't at the club then, I didn't get there till 99, but how good was he, mate, as a kid?
Yeah, well, I guess just to give you a statistic first up, when he played one game as a 14-year-old, he scored 100 in under 14s or under 15s as it was, under 15s, and then later that day he scored 124 in the fourth grade. So he managed 2 100s in one day. From memory, it was a pretty warm day as well. But he was also a player in the nets. I do remember one night, and it's probably happened a few times, but I remember one night we was just on song, and he'd say, talk to the bowlers and say, I'm going to hit it, to near the garden shed, or I'm going to hit it to Kingsway 2, or I'll lob it over there. And pretty much everywhere he nominated, that's where the ball went. So, he was pretty talented from a very young age, and had confidence to go with it, and which, often at that level, that confidence and, ability to back up your performance is one of the key things to success.
Mate, also, you've seen every coach we've had at the club almost from day dot there, haven't you? So which one of the coaches did you find was the best that you've been around?
Oh, it's put me on the spot there, Purce. Now, look, they all have their own strengths, and I know that, again, is a cliche, but every single coach that I was involved with, either as an assistant coach or a player, was someone that, I enjoyed getting on with. And I guess if you're asking for someone who was my favourite, probably your first coach sticks in your mind. And Wayne Clark was a favourite because he had a tremendous ability to bring people together. And I felt, even as, someone who was a struggling fourth grader, that he had a lot of time for me. But he was, as with all of them, but he was basically a really nice bloke. Yeah. And you felt like when you're playing at Wanneroo, you're playing not just for your mates, but playing for him, and wanted to be successful because you had a good coach.
Was very well said, actually, because it's so true. I mean, the first coach is always very influential, but you have seen so many. That's why we love picking your brain about it. But, mate, the over the time you've been there also, another big thing would obviously be memorable moments in a club sense. What's your most memorable moment in a club sense? So something we've achieved.
Yeah, that's a really good question because there's been many of them. Sometimes it's the small things that happen off the field. I remember the fact that the Paul Lucas Medal Night was something that grew from basically just a few blokes at the end of the season getting together for a few drinks, and then literally might have been 20, 30 people in the club. And over a period of time, that's grown, and thanks to Paul Lucas as well for letting us use his name to give the medal prestige, which I think was one big thing. So that, over a period of time, has been a big thing. Obviously, the premierships are huge. When people ask me what's the best thing that I remember, I was involved with 2 premierships in the 4th grade, and that would be probably something that, in terms of memories with people, not just the players, but parents and friends, that probably bring back the happiest memories.
Mate, those are the sort of things that make you want to come back down even at your ripe old age, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah, sure. I mean, I see a lot of people, and I won't sort of, try to nominate people because no doubt I'll forget a few, but there's many people that you see back at the club, and it's the sort of thing that brings back happy memories and, continues the reasons to forge new ones as well.
Mate, you also went down to Lilac there and helped Noddy and the seconds out, and you also, from all accounts, trekking down to Willerton this week, mate. What was that like, getting back around the players, and have the players' attitudes changed over the last couple of years, do you think?
Look, the second grades were really good embracing me. I just went down, as you know, just to help out, and I just got a bit of time on my hands before footy kicks in again, do a bit of coaching there with boundary umpires, and so I thought, well, I'd like to help out a little bit if I can, and so, no, their attitudes are really positive. Didn't have a great day, unfortunately, in the park at Lilac Hill, but...
best luck, did you, buddy?
No, it wasn't exactly a great influence. But in terms of their welcoming me and also their work ethic, I couldn't, fault that. Obviously, a little bit of confidence required for some of the boys in the batting side of things, but that comes about through work and time. And so, I think in terms of attitude, there's no reason why they can't sort of find themselves climbing up the ladder in, maybe in the coming weeks.
You've got a lot of varied interests, mate. People all think, he just runs around, he loves his football, he's obviously a boundary umpire and done a lot of work in the umpiring side of it, but you've also got a board game, mate, the Coach's Box. Now, is that still out there and for sale, mate, and can people still get hold of it?
Well, yes, you can do. The website's www.thecb.com.au, but of course you're always welcome to give us a call and I can do you a very special offer. No, there are a few of them out there, and also as well there's another game coming out soon, if I'll give that a plug. It's called Take Some Risks, a card game for Littlies that's come out, so that's all to do with my other business, because as well as being a school teacher, I run a maths education business, so there's a couple of those going around. So thanks for the plug, Dave.
No, mate, can you just repeat those websites again, mate, so the guys can, if anyone wants to get hold of it?
Yeah, sure. The board game is www.thecb, so the as in the end, so the CB for Coach's Box, and .com.au. And the other one hasn't got a website as such, but if you look at my business website, which is you do the maths, all one word, .com.au, so you do the maths.com.au, you'll find the details of the card game there. In fact, you might even find a few of them at the quiz night, so there you go.
Oh, excellent. Look, there's a segue we're after there was. Mate, coming up on the 7th of February, mate, you're going to be the quiz master, and I've been to a few of yours, and you're absolutely outstanding job you do, mate. Do you want to just run the guys through what's going to be happening on the 7th of February at the quiz night?
Yeah, thanks, Purce. It's always a pleasure to come out. Basically it's a $10 entry for an individual. We're looking for tables of 8, but the special offer that's been put out by Leroy just today on Facebook, $100 a table gets you complimentary drinks for each individual and also a platter, so that's an excellent deal.
Yep.
It's $100 a table. It's, as you say, 7:30pm we're looking at getting going. Probably, I think some of the players are coming from Perth, so there'll be plenty of time and we'll make sure we get ourselves moving once they've got there. But you're looking at your standard sort of fare, like I think we've got 6 rounds of questions, general knowledge, music, entertainment, sport. We've got a new round coming in this year as well, which is popular choice, so in the vein of Family Feud with the most popular answers.
Oh, brilliant.
And of course you've got your games in between, your heads and tails, true, false, and Leroy's putting a few other little bits and pieces together to make it a good night.
You know, something else we need to do on that too was, I reckon everyone's got to hand in their mobile phones, mate, as soon as walking in. Some of these young blokes, they had the mobile phones out, just not good enough, mate. It's not cricket when you're doing it, mate, because if you see it, it's going to be the end of the night for them.
It's a controversial one. Yeah, it's a bone of contention, that one now. I'd love to get out the whistle and blow 50 metres or whatever, but haven't quite worked out the solution. But handing him at the door might be a good way to go.
Mate, to know, how can the people pre-book one of the tables of 8 for $100 with the food?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Purce. Now I'm going to sort of do the handball here. It's on a Facebook site for the club at the moment. Now I know that's maybe not something everyone's got access to, but
can they can jump onto the club website?
Yeah, has that got I'm asking you now. Has that got a link to Facebook? That one?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, because certainly if you get
it does.
Yeah, if you get on the club's Facebook page, then there are details there of numbers to call and people to contact. And worst case scenario, then I'm sure that someone on Thursday night, in terms of the club, people will be able to help. But
I think they can contact Jo Fawcett and look for Joanne Fawcett and look for her mobile number on there.
That sounds like a really good way to go.
All right, guys. Well, make sure everyone gets behind that because, as I said, it's our club and we've got to support these great nights. And I've got to say, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. It's been way too long. We've been doing this show for 4 years and we haven't had you on before, mate. And I hope, if you don't mind, we can get you on again in the near future, mate, as well.
No, pleasure. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mate, it's an absolute pleasure to have on here, mate. And we actually, I say from the bottom of our heart that we really appreciate all the work that you have done and do around our club because if it wasn't for people like you, mate, the club still wouldn't be going because we really do appreciate it. So thanks for everything, and we look forward to seeing you at the quiz night.
Thanks, Dave. Look forward to seing everyone coming along.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
See ya.
There he is. What a great fella. Look, I think many a player of my era can always remember playing a game under Warren there. And look, he was such a good leader as well. You know, he just knew what was going on and just get us right in there and was always excited, always good to be there. Such good energy. And he was one of the only blokes that ever used to be able to keep up with Mike Hustner running as well. So very, very fit young man.
And like we touched on there, I mean, a lot of the guys know he's into his umpiring and that, and he has been for a very long time. He's been involved at waffle level. I think he's still involved at waffle level too now. So, as I said, he's been involved for a long time. So, for him to hand up a bit more of his time, obviously not playing now and everything like that, but it's just great to have him around the club. But he's always a smiling face and a great bloke. And if any of the young blokes really want to understand a little bit about the club, speak to Warren Beckwith because the man knows everything that's happened there. And as I said, he can point out, like last week when he sent us a great text telling us that Dave Hussey had made 11 A-grade hundreds, which we didn't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's just an absolute wealth of knowledge, hence why he's called Warren the Almanac.
That's right.
And he's a champion. Great clubman. So thanks, Woz, and we love that he does listen to us and each week. So great to have him on board. All right, guys. Well, that's all we've got time for tonight on Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show. We've obviously gone a little bit over our allocated time tonight. We've had a really big show, Ian.
Surprising that you and I talk and run out of time, isn't it, Vern?
Normally
very shy of a word, you and I. But,
no, exactly, mate. No, it's very strange. But, guys, thanks for listening to our 11th show of the 14-15 season. But first of all, before we do head off, we just want to say a quick thanks to our all-important sponsors. We've got Urtec, Northside Residential, Harden East and Conti, Stella Premium Services, Sunwise Outdoor Living, MTM Physiotherapy, Jets Wanneroo, Subway Madley, Resource Instrumentation and Electrical, well done Dave, ADL Electrical, Liquor Barons Greenwood, Phoenix Insurance Brokers, Total Industrial and Safety, and JC Plastering. Thanks also to my fantastic co-host, Ian Purcell. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, Dave. The pleasure was mine as always.
Excellent, mates. And, look forward to a big weekend with the boys this week. Just before I do let you go, mate, Urtec Player of the Week this week. Do you have someone that really stands out before we leave tonight?
Moses.
Has to be Moses,
got to be.
It?
On the Keith Parrish scoring system.
Definitely.
He's beaten Matty Fawcett.
Unbelievable. Even
by 13 points.
Exactly. 13 points. Exactly. Fantastic effort. So well done to young Moses there, mate. You've done well, and we look forward to seeing another great performance from you next week. Guys, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to having you all back in 2 weeks,
right.
if I'm correct, because next week's Australia Day, and everyone will be slightly inebriated, I would have thought. So
cooking some lamb on the barbie and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly. So we look forward to obviously seeing you in a fortnight's time at 7 p.m. on your home of sport in the community, 91.3 Sport FM. Just remember, guys, after us, you've got Stumps coming on, and then a bit later, GT the Brick. So enjoy your nights, guys, and thanks for listening. Good night.